Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel, and so today I want to talk about Conquest because Conquest is an absolutely fantastic game and more people need to be playing it. And one of my favourite things about this game is really well, the models in general, it twists fantasy on its head and we get some really nice models and some really nice lore and some really twisted lore too. I mean, Spires are still my favourite. The fact that, they clone people, then feed the clones to the clones. It's cool and twisted and really nice. So, they've announced that they are releasing a lore book. The Conquest Lore Companion book. And it looks pretty cool. They're doing the usual, 1,000 signed copies. And they, unlike other companies who, when they do that, wait ages till the next book comes out, you've also got the normal standard paperback as well for less than half the price of a signed one. So that is happening and that is really kind of cool. What really gets me interested in this is that one thing I do like about wargaming lore is the prehistory, the stuff that happened prior to what's happening now. Now, I never deem this stuff as important, stuff like the Necrons versus the old ones, that's not really important. It's cool and it's really nice to find out, but as a whole, it's not important. It's just something really, really interesting and really adds to the world building as a whole. So we're going to see more about Asgard and the gods of Yggdrasil, I keep pronouncing that, the Exiles, which of course become the Spires. So it's really interesting to see what we're going to get out of this. Now, there we're going to the faction laws are ones we know, the Nords, the Radrun, and the Spires, the 100 Kingdoms, etc. We're getting more lore on that, so that's going to be expanded even further. So while I was reading this, there was something that caught my eye, and I want to sort of, let's say, guess, estimate, predict, one of those words, whichever one you find best, of what they're going to be. And so they've said, updated and all new lore and first look into future factions. This is in the bio of the book, the description. Black Army, Weavers, Helheim, Desmorosal, I cannot pronounce that word. Desmorosal, it's hard. Mastiga, Famine and Han. And I thought, you know what? Maybe let's take a look and a guess at what these things are. Now, Black Army, I'm going to assume, are more the evil 100 Kingdoms. They're going to be a human army, but evil. We've seen this in loads and loads of different fantasy books and fantasies. Right? You got the evil humans. The Black Knight from Monty Python, but he's not evil, just very determined. But you see what I mean with the Black Knights sort of thing. I believe that's what the Black Army is going to be. Helheim is going to be the demon. Like I said, this is what I'm just guessing here. Okay, see, Hel, as we know, is one of the 9 realms of Nordic mythology, and of course we've got the Nords, which are basically Nords. So I think Helheim would be the let's say the twisted version, corrupted, demonically possessed, or even just dead. Undead Nords. Though, if it is undead, I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you, because we've already got, we've got the Old Dominion. We've got one undead army already, the Old Dominion. And what's the other one? Just the Old Dominion, isn't it? There's probably another one and I can't remember it, but if you remember it, please leave a comment down below. So I think Helheim would be the demonic side, because we don't really see many demons in Conquest. We don't really have a demon army. Famine and Han. Now, I don't know whether or not Famine and Han are one thing, like Famine and Han, or because they didn't put the comma in there, it's Famine and Ham. Anyway, Famine and Han, I would assume, would be the counter to the Uroni. It would be another Eastern sort of, bit more Chinese though than actually Japanese. So Uroni is very much Japanese. My words are just not coming to me together. Inspired, Japanese inspired. Han, I would say, is more Chinese inspired. Would be interesting. We don't see many Chinese or actually we don't see many from the Far East in fantasy, and Uroni are really kind of unique in that respect. And so, and I'm saying fantasy, not sci-fi, because obviously Dystopian Wars and Dystopian Age has the Empire, but in fantasy we rarely see that. So I think Han might be sort of related to the Chinese. And if it's famine, it might be more zombie based, but really, really skinny, really sort of people, not quite dead, but starving. And we might see them be more gluttonous or, greedy, just eat everything. That might be their thing. It's interesting. Now, Weavers, I would say this was a more animal based, but no, more insectoid in general. Just because of weevils. That's literally what I'm coming from. And of course with weaving as well. And the last two, I do not know how to pronounce that word. I'm going to Google that word and see what it means, or what the closest means. And Mastiga. I'm guessing Mastiga or Mastiga may be more of a, just kind of guessing, is a magic police force. In my opinion, it's probably going to be that sort of thing. And that's it. There's literally nothing for that. I have no idea what the decimal symbol will be, because it's kind of weird. It's interesting, but that's kind of my prediction. So Black Army is going to be like the evil humans. We're going to see like the counter to the 100 Kingdoms. Weavers, I think, will be more insectoid based. Might see a lot of bees and crickets and sort of bugs. That would be kind of cool. Helheim, demonic Nords. The like Hela being one of the big gods or something like that. Interesting because of Asgard. Basically the counter to the or famine, and Han, if it's one, are going to be the counter Uroni and be more Chinese based. Mastiga, like I said, probably some sort of magic police force, and I have no idea what that last one is, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, so yeah, there's that as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and this is quite interesting. Like, I do like to see this. And if you wish to save some money on your Conquest, there's Whaling Games down below for up to 20% off. Yeah, you can get some real good bargains on your Conquest down there. I've used them so much. I've got so much Conquest from Whaling Games. I have loads. Anyway, yeah, up to 20% off, free delivery after 20 quid, and they do actually ship all around the world. So I believe my American friends and my American viewers, you can use this site, and they will post to you. I might be wrong. No, then I'm not. I've checked it out. They said they do post to America. Anyway, there's also Forbidden Planet for your comics, mangas, all that sort of cool geeky stuff. If you really want to support me personally, check out my comics down below. If you want to see Little Red Riding Hood go absolute ham on some Lovecraftian werewolves. Cyborg Lovecraftian werewolves. As my merchandise, t-shirts, cups, what everyone else does. My good friend, don't forget my good friend Skyforge. Give him a click, let's get him up that Google algorithm. And finally, Patreon, because business. Bye-bye.